There's no cure for racing. You're not even going broke. The only cure for racing is the end of our lives, not the end of our career.
By far the best series I've ever raced in, dollar for dollar. I can race all year on a quarter what it would cost me to run anything else.
Here you can beat it out or make a new one and be back the next week. And it's really an affordable series. I really like it.
It's nice to come back, and have the car slide around and, put it back in the driver's hands. I like that.
Hi everybody, I'm Olivia Pritchett and I want to welcome you to the Super Cup Stock Car Series 2017 opening race. This is Super Cup's 10th consecutive year and they're celebrating it by expanding to North and South divisions, and they're having a total of 10 points races. Guys, that's something they haven't done since 2008, and it's all starting here at Midvale Speedway.
Built in 1953, tonight it's our turn to add to the legacy that is Midvale Speedway. Hello everybody, I'm Gene Crane. You heard from Olivia Pritchett. She'll cover the action for us from pit road throughout the evening as our 20-car field rolls out onto this beautiful 3/10-mile speedway for the opening event of the 10th anniversary season of Super Cup racing. Here is the starting lineup for the Skipco Auto Auctions Twin 50s presented by United Tire and Service. A pair of veterans, Jim Crabtree Jr. in the 63 and John Curley in the 99 on row 1. Stephen Cox goes to the inside of row 2 in the 21, and Brent Nelson, last year's winner in car 80. Quick time was set by Larry Berg. He starts inside row 3 with car 7, and last year's champion Harvey Harrison in the 51 alongside him. Kevin Cromer starts 77, the car 77 on the inside of row 4. He's joined by Brian Harrison in car 15. Trent Gosser in car 71 starts inside row number 5, and the veteran Bob Schacht in car 75 alongside him. Rookie Jared Brocker in car 72 starts inside row 6, along with J.P. Crabtree in car 42 outside. Row 7 will see the 5-car Brandon Harrison on the inside, and the 52 of Kyle Cromer alongside him. Row number 8, Larry Wilcox, car number 66, starts on the inside, and Jeff Zellweger in car 18 on the outside of that 8th row. Row number 9, car number 2, Tim McLaughlin is on the inside, and one of the winners from last year, Bill Ashton in car 35 on the outside. Veteran Mike Potter in the 14 starts inside row 10, and outside him, car number 3, Jason Shue. Field is set, ready to go racing here in 2017, side by side. Crabtree and Curley look to the flag stand. There's the green flag. They come up through the gearbox, and then Crabtree's going to get the jump. He's going to lead them down to turn 1, but Curley's going to try the outside in turns 1 and 2. Slides just a little bit on the exit. He'll settle into second. Stephen Cox has got a challenge from the outside from Brent Nelson in the 80 car. Nelson will beat him down to the corner, but they're side by side again off of turn 4, battling for third here on lap number 1. Crabtree shows the way off of turn 2 down that back straightaway. Curley in that second spot, about 3 car lengths back. Brent Nelson in that 80 car, solidly in third. It's Larry Berg and Stephen Cox side by side now, battling for fourth. Leaders through turns 1 and 2, down that back straightaway and into turn 3. Nelson is really going to chew up the distance to the rear bumper of the 99 of John Curley. Brent Nelson won this event last season and held the point lead through midseason at Jennerstown before disaster struck. They've done a lot of work in the offseason, and they brought a new piece.
What we've got is, a completely new car here this year. We completely rebuilt the motor. It was tired, the one we ran the last 3 years, and a lot of trial and error putting this thing together in the short time frame that we had to do it in, but everything turned out.
Looking pretty good right now for Brent Nelson. He closes in on Crabtree. That is Curley. And Larry Berg dove to the inside. Berg's going to take over third from Brent Nelson. Larry Berg on a tear. He set quick time earlier today. He's trying to work his way to the front. He's going to challenge John Curley out of turn 4. Curley protects to the inside. As we go to break, here's a look at our top 5. We've got more action from Midvale coming your way right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Performance Fiberglass Products and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. Cody Roba on victory lane, the last race of 2016 at Jennerstown, picking up the trophy. We ride with his grandfather, Larry Berg, who's challenging for second down in turns 1 and 2. Berg to the inside of Brent Nelson's going to take over second, sets his sights on the 63 of Jimmy Crabtree Jr., who has led from the drop of the green flag here at Midvale Speedway. Top two head back to turns 1 and 2, and Crabtree right in the center of the corner. Car does not want to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Back in third is Nelson, and Trent Gosser, who struggled with smoke coming from that car earlier in the evening, has made his way back to fourth. And Harvey Harrison, last year's champion, running in that fifth position. Leaders down the back straightaway. Larry Berg trying to close in on Jim Crabtree down in turn 3, who drives down to the bottom, cannot challenge. Berg in that second spot, putting the pressure on the 63 of Jimmy Crabtree Jr. for the race lead. Nelson is there. Gosser is there. Harrison not far behind as well. There is the 7. Larry Berg to the inside. He's going to take over the lead out of turn 4. Berg to the front. Crabtree back to second. Larry Berg, no stranger to this racetrack or victory lane for that matter.
We won here 2 years ago. Turns are really sharp, so your car has to turn. That's probably the most important thing, and you know, it's always slick, especially this time of year when it's hot.
Is Cody involved this year?
Oh yeah, he's actually coming up. He had to be a best man at a wedding, so he's hopping on a plane. He should be here about 6 o'clock.
That grandfather-grandson team, very tough to beat in Super Cup action, and Cody Robaugh also racing some ARCA races throughout 2017 as well. Here's the battle for second. Brett Nelson is challenging Jimmy Crabtree. Nelson to the inside. He's trying to pull alongside for second. Gosser watching this battle. He's going to stay to the bottom of the racetrack. Nelson gets by Crabtree. Here's Gosser alongside. In turn 3, Crabtree is going to get shuffled back to fourth. Here comes Harvey Harrison in that fifth position in the 51 car as well. Jason Shue in the 3 car down low, getting lapped. The leader now is Larry Berg with Nelson in second, Gosser third, and Gosser looks like he wants to challenge the 80 car of Brent Nelson. Closes in off the corner. Nelson's car wants to push at the exit of turn 2, and Gosser trying to take advantage of it in that 71 car. This is the second place battle, 3-car battle. Right now it's Gosser trying to take the race to the 80 car of Nelson. Crabtree has battled back and is not far off the rear bumper of the 71 of Gosser as they work back to turns 3 and 4. Again, Nelson's car up the racetrack, and caution on the speedway. Caution is out. Apparently, the guys that started back in row 6 side by side have got together again. Looks like the 42 of JP Crabtree might have got into the left rear quarter panel of the 72 of rookie Rocker. Let's take a look at it from Bob Shack's perspective. Up ahead, there's the contact indeed. JP Crabtree into the left rear quarter panel, and some debris in turn 2 is what puts us under caution here tonight. Looks like Curley back in the pit area. John Curley in the 99 got as high as second in the running order and then started struggling with the car. Some instrumentation problems at the dash. He continues to flip switches. As they're looking at that race car, John Curley, helmet off. Looks like he's coming out of the race car. John Curley, the veteran, looked like he had a good run going here tonight, but all for naught. Curley exits the race car. Olivia is there.
John, what's going on?
Okay, on the ignition switch on the back, there's a screw that holds all the wires in, and the little screw vibrated and fell out, killed all the power. Had a heck of a run going, didn't we? It was fixing to get real fun. But we're going to get it fixed, come back out for the second one.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
He is energized, and John Curley, he's going to make it exciting in race number 2. We get shaped up, and we'll be back for a restart right after this. Here's a look at our top 5 here at Midvale Speedway, including Berg, Nelson, Crabtree, Harrison, and Stephen Cox. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by United Tire and Service and by Stable 360 Performance. Use it every fill-up to keep your engine running cleaner, smoother, leaner, and stronger than ever. Super Cup Stock Car Series action tonight from Midvale Speedway. And the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s, first of Twin 50s tonight, set for a restart. Larry Berg and Brent Nelson up front. Green is out, and on the brake, Berg's going to get away, but Nelson in trouble. Brent Nelson up on the high side, the 80 car very slow, high in turn number 1. Meanwhile, Crabtree to second. Cox is third. JP Crabtree in fourth. And Harvey Harrison going to the outside, but JP Crabtree got into the back of the 21 of Stephen Cox. Cox down to the inside, did not go all the way around, but enough for caution to be shown. So we're quickly back to caution. Let's take another look at it. Down the back straightaway, Harvey Harrison commits to the outside. The red, white, and blue 42 of Crabtree on the brakes already, but not enough. Gets to the back bumper of the 21 car. And around goes Stephen Cox. Rights the machine, points it straight from the cockpit of the 21 car. Stephen Cox didn't plan to do any agricultural racing, but he was able to recover and get it back underway here tonight in turn 4 at Midvale Speedway. Brett Nelson had trouble on the start. He's in the pits, out of the car. Let's hear from him.
Brent, what happened?
Well, it's not the way we wanted to start this year off. You know, I come off a 4 on the restart, and as soon as I caught 4th gear, I think we broke a gear in the rear. I think that's what happened. I mean, the transmission shifts okay, but I have no forward momentum.
Well, you are noted for keeping positive and coming back strong, so what are you thinking now?
Well, you know what? The car's not tore up. We're going to work on it here between the races, and hopefully we'll be back out for the second 50.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, we've still got a ways to go in the first 50, and on the break, 4-car battle up front. Larry Berg's got the lead, but he's trying to hold off the 51 of Harvey Harrison and the 63 of Jim Crabtree Jr. Berg will take over the lead. Now Harrison's going to get by Crabtree for second. Crabtree to third. Brian Harrison and Mike Potter get together for just a moment in turn 4. Leaders work their way through turns 1 and 2 once again. Harvey Harrison up to second. He's our defending champion, and he talked to us about the 50-lap formats.
We've had a few issues early today with the starter and had to change starters out. But all in all, I think it'll be a good night. The 50-lap races kind of changes it up because I like a longer race. And a lot of the older drivers that's ran the long races, you know, they like to run because it gives you more time to settle in, and then you kind of turn up the wick right at the end. The 50-lap races, you don't have as much time. So I think it could be anybody's night tonight with the 50-lap race. But we've done this before, so we're pretty excited about it, and I think it'll be okay.
Larry Berg shows the way. Harrison in that second spot as Jim Crabtree right behind him. We're riding along with Kevin Cromer back in action full-time for 2017. Cromer back in the 7th position. That's his son, Kyle Cromer, in the 52, directly ahead of the 5 of Brian Harrison. Cromer back in action after some medical issues last season. Great to see him back on the track. We talked to him earlier about how he's doing.
I'm re-energized after everything I went through last year. I think this year we're gonna proceed forward and do good things. With my treatment business last year, I didn't know if I'd ever drive again, but you know, you never know what the outcome was going to be. Our new partnership is with Lehigh Valley Hospital Center. It's the Cancer Institute, and is what we're doing is we partner with them. Is I'm going to donate back all my earnings from this season and donate it to the Institute for further research and to help people get the treatment I'm getting.
It is certainly great to have Kevin Cromer back with us here in Super Cup action for 2017, as well as our leader, Larry Berg. Both gentlemen overcoming adversity during 2016. Here's your top 5 as we head to break. Berg, Crabtree, Harrison, Potter, and Cromer. Don't go away. More action coming your way from Midvale Speedway. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Racing Electronics and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. Restart here at Midvale Speedway. Larry Berg and Jim Crabtree Jr. side by side down to turns 1 and 2. First of 2 Twin 50s, the Skipco Auto Auctions Twin 50s here tonight. Leaders still side by side as they hit turn 3. Larry Berg on the inside. This time is going to take over the lead. Berg to the front, down to turn 1, and Berg's car gets very loose on entry. Berg up the racetrack. Crabtree goes by on the inside. Crabtree, your new leader. Larry Berg recovers. He runs second and trying to run down Jimmy Crabtree here this evening in the closing laps at Midvale Speedway. Down to turn 1. Crabtree's car up the racetrack just a little bit. Now Larry Berg looks in the mirror. Here's Trent Gosser. The 71's been on a charge. He's been to the pits twice tonight to check out a smoking issue on that 71 car, and Gosser has marched his way back into the top 5 for a second time and challenging for second down the back straightaway. Trent Gosser pulls alongside Larry Berg in turn 3. Berg up the racetrack. Gosser is going to get by and take over second. Bob Schacht has also taken his 75 car to the pit area, and a broken truck arm mount being reported on that machine. Up front, it's still Gosser trying to run down Jimmy Crabtree Jr., and caution on the speedway. We'll slow it back down and re-rack it. Spin by the 35 of Bill Ashton has brought the caution out. This is going to shape things up. Here's what it looked like from Stephen Cox's perspective. And down into the corner, and it's like Ashton swapped ends on the 35 car. Also noted some of the difficulty Stephen Cox was having with the 21 car, as it has been reported that a problem with the rear end in that car might be slowing down his efforts here this evening. Field restacked, ready for a restart. Here is Crabtree and Gosser side by side, then Berg and Harrison. Kevin Cromer and Kyle Cromer making up the third row as we get set for a restart off the corner. Green is in the air, and Crabtree's going to jump out front. Gosser to second. Down to turns 1 and 2. Crabtree, little bumper action between the two of them down the back straightaway. Gosser pulls alongside in turn 3. Gosser on the bottom slides up the racetrack. He'll take over the lead. Crabtree back to second. Larry Berg running in third. Off the corner, Gosser showing the way. 2-car length advantage over Jim Crabtree Jr. Berg solidly in third. Harrison in that 4th position. Leader trying to run away and hide. Trent Gosser, second-year driver in the Super Cup Series, has a best of 3rd in competition, looking to improve that here this evening. Jimmy Crabtree returning to competition here in 2017, the 10th anniversary year of Super Cup competition. 10 years strong and continuing to grow. Earlier today, we had a chance to sit down and talk with Super Cup Series Director Joe Schmeling about 10 years of Cup action.
The growth in our series this year has been fabulous, and it's through Sopwith Motorsports and MAV TV has helped us with this growth. We're just absolutely pleased. For the first time in our history in 10 years, we've got 20 cars on the ground through practice and not a dent in one of them. So we're absolutely thrilled.
Joe's certainly done a great job. I've watched this series grow over the last 10 years, and it continues to grow. In fact, earlier this week, I had an email from a race fan that I had met years and years ago wanting to know more about Super Cup, and you can log on to supercupstockcarseries.com to learn more of this series. Here's a look at the top 5 as we go to break. Gosser, Crabtree, Berg, Harrison, and Cromer. We'll be right back for the finish at Midvale Speedway. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Lincoln Welders and by 303. Keep your car looking new longer. Down to the closing laps of Super Cup competition in the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s. First of Twin 50s here tonight at Midvale Speedway. Trent Gosser has done a remarkable job here tonight. 2 trips to the pits. Twice marched his way to the top 5, this time to the lead as the laps wind down. Jim Crabtree Jr. giving chase, but right now does not seem to have anything for a very determined Trent Gosser and that 71 car. Larry Berg running third. The 51 of Harvey Harrison rounding out the top 4 as Gosser crosses start-finish. Crabtree tries to close in down in turns 1 and 2, but nothing there. Gosser with a lot of drive off of turn 2. Jim Crabtree Jr. doing all he can to try to run him down, but here's Gosser. A cross start finish. White flag is in the air. One more time around for the young man in car number 71, who has been absolutely determined. Down to turn 3, Crabtree can do nothing with the 71. A cross start finish. Trent Gosser will go to victory lane for the first time in his Super Cup Stock Car Series career. Gosser headed to victory lane. Crabtree will finish second. Larry Berg comes home third here this evening. But Trent Gosser, sophomore year driver, finished 10th in his first appearance here at Midvale. Now pulls the 71 to victory lane, and he is ready to celebrate as the winner of race number 1 here this evening. The spoils of victory to Trent Gosser as he gets set to climb from the 71 machine. Olivia has made her way over there. Let's hear from our happy winner.
Trent Gosser, what on earth happened?
Oh, I don't know. They made us pull in for smoking or something. Went in, I guess we had a little bit of oil leak. I got a little oil on the floor pan over there and just kind of got me worked up and made me drive that much harder. This is actually my first ever win in Super Cup Series, so it means a lot. I got to thank Don for Bill buying this car. This is the first time this car's been on the racetrack with us owning it. And I think Gosser's Towing, True Motorsports, Tim Neal, and all the other guys that helped. Couldn't thank them enough. Kent.
Way to open the season strong.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations for overcoming adversity not once but twice here this evening. Jim Crabtree Jr. and Larry Berg dominated earlier this evening throughout the event, but it was Gosser that took it away. Let's hear from them.
Jim Crabtree, it is so good to see you back in Super Cup. Way to open the season strong. So you and Larry, talk about that.
Yeah, it was taking my tires a little while to come in there in the beginning. Their cars was a little better in the beginning, and then mine started coming to me, and then it faded away again, you know. So we still got some work to do, but I feel pretty happy with that. You know, we haven't raced in a couple years. First time out with this car. All the fenders are on it, so we'll come back that second 50 and see what we can do.
All right, Larry Berg, number 7, you were fighting hard out there. Tell me all about it.
Well, we were good at the beginning, but it just got loose, and I just couldn't get back into the gas and couldn't hang on to it. Yeah, so we tried. We're going to tighten it up a little bit the second run, but I'm pretty much under the weather. I might put Steven in it, so let him run it, see what happens.
How do you feel about third?
Hey, I'd rather win. Third's okay, but second loser.
Spoken like a true racer as we take a look at the finishing results from the first of Twin 50s here tonight. J.P. Crabtree made his way to the top 5. Cromer Harrison, good run for Mike Potter. Stephen Cox barely got that 21 car back to the pit area, and with that broken rear end. Brent Nelson had trouble early on. He'll finish 17th. More Super Cup action coming your way throughout this 10th anniversary season. For Olivia Pritchett and the entire Sopwith Motorsports crew, I'm Gene Crane. We'll see you next time.